the fundamental understanding of truth as a society is that it's a good thing. I think we can all agree on that. It's something that will bring out the most direct path to a solution that will leave parties better off. It might not leave them happier, but it will allow them to build. It won't leave a messy foundation. When the truth is spoken and communicated around, then it allows for solid foundations to be built to improve the future. Now, this is a very easy concept to state, but it's a hard one to really put into action and to understand. I think when you take a look at an example, I'll give a real life story here. When I was in a relationship at one point, I endeavored my best to share the truth at every juncture. Now, of course, being human, I made some mistakes, and I think that overall that really demonstrated reaching the end of truth to be much more difficult. But what can really be demonstrated in this example is that because I shared the truth and I was fundamentally truthful to all parties involved, including myself, it allowed me to reach the end result quicker, which was that ultimately the relationship was going to not work out, that it was not beneficial for either party. And it was something that, had I been entirely truthful, I think that everybody involved would have been able to reach that conclusion sooner. I think that being truthful stems really from the ego. The ego is something that massively affects the truth. When you look at the world in general, everybody is different. I don't care if you're on the other side of the world or if you're twins who were brought up in the same household and did pretty much everything similarly. Everybody's interpretation of the world is different. We're all unique. You can't even say that subcultures are similar by gender, race, whatever. You keep branching it down to the individual, and everybody is intrinsically unique, which means that the truth for everybody is different and that everybody's ego is different. The ego, in my opinion, defines the individual. The ego is built from something not really biologically based. The ego is more of an abstract idea. And because of that, to me, that would mean that it is something that is created by the individual, and it really, ultimately, defines who that individual is. So when you take a look at ego and you see it from that perspective, it really makes the truth based upon ego. And then subsequently, the truth is based upon the person. I'll give you a hypothetical example here. If you felt that you really wanted to get a position at a job, and you wanted to impress the person who is interviewing you or whatever, you wanted to impress somebody in order to reach a goal. If you don't tell the truth and you say, for example, yeah, I have tons of experience in this field and I'm going to be able to do this and manage this and I'm going to be great at it, when in reality, you have no idea if you're going to be able to. And more likely than not, you don't have the experience and you're going to probably struggle quite immensely. What that is going to do is it is going to make the lives of everybody around you and yourself miserable, because all the people around you are going to have to pick up your slack or do something else in order to help you or make them focus on you as opposed to focus on your shortcomings as opposed to working on their own shortcomings. And subsequently, you are going to feel this immense strain because you have to work harder and you're lying to yourself and you're trying to figure out things on the spot. And there's a difference between challenging yourself in a new position and just straight up lying about being ready. When you are not ready for something, in this hypothetical example, you're setting up everybody with yourself and around you to fail. You're setting up the person who hired you to fail, and ultimately, it seems like you're going to be fired. If you told, however, and the end result of that is that you don't have a job. You were not accepted in the job. So the other end result, if you told the truth that, no, I don't have this experience, is most likely that you don't get the job. It's as simple as that. If you didn't have the experience or the knowledge, you weren't going to get the job. And if you say that you do, and you lie, and you end up going through the whole process, you're going to end up without the job anyway. You're just going to have wasted time, maybe gained a little bit of experience, but your reputation is now of somebody who is a liar, who is not truthful about what they have done. And that's going to affect you a lot more than simply saying, sorry, I don't have this, going out and maybe learning and then applying for the job again. If you do that, you are being truthful, and there's a strong likelihood that you will get the job. So continuing to lie, or simply really allowing your ego to guide you, and that you may feel like, oh, I feel that I'm not worth it because I can't have this job, or so I need to lie to get to it. Like, your ego's right. Your ego's 100% right. You aren't worth it. You aren't ready for it. And your ego isn't there just to demean you. It's there to protect you. Your ego does not like to be shattered, doesn't like to be hurt. In the hypothetical sense, of course, it's not a tangible thing, but when the ego is attacked, that's its antithesis. That is the antithesis of ego, being destroyed. And when you're able to protect your ego, people do that at incredible costs. And overall, like, you see it every day. People lie, or especially when trying to fit into a group. The social implications of the ego are just unbelievable. When you have somebody who is, say, the leader of a group, or if you're trying to impress someone in the group, you're trying to flirt with somebody and you want to get to know them better, and they have a very strong opinion on something, and you may disagree on that, but it seems like, oh, if I disagree on this, then I'm never going to see this person again, and I like other parts of them. And really what that is a test of, is this something that is going to work? Of course, this is just a hypothetical example, but if somebody's super passionate about something and you disagree on that passion just entirely, you're just not in concurrence with them, then you're going to find out that, hey, maybe this person is not the right person for me. Maybe we can discuss this as intelligent individuals, discuss the idea of it, find out using proper communication if maybe there's a misconception, or the point is you're going to be able to work through it, and it's a test. Are you able to talk as functioning people, or are you just going to be bound by the ideology of your ego? And if you're both going to be in that phase, or one of you is, then really think about when you are together for weeks, months, years later down the line, and you have to deal with that strain of having lied to your partner and not been truthful. And it's just going to put a tremendous strain on you. It's going to make it near impossible for you to really get the most out of anything. So really, you have to focus on telling the truth. The truth will guide you towards the most expedient route towards success.